Everyone tells you to build a big emergency fund before you do anything else with your money. But what if I told you that that advice could be costing you over $100,000 in lost wealth over your lifetime? This isn't about being reckless. This is about a money rule that makes you feel safe while quietly slowing you down. By the end of this video, I'll show you exactly how I structure my own safety net so your money protects you and actually moves you forward. Let's keep this simple. Say you have $20,000 sitting in a savings account. Even if you're earning 4%, inflation is eating about 3%. That means after years of doing everything right, your money barely moved. And that's being graceful because inflation is probably going to be higher than 3%. Your money feels safe, but it's barely growing. Now, compare that to what the same money could be doing instead. Paying off high interest debt, investing earlier, helping you increase cash flow. Safety feels good, but safety has a cost. Here's why this advice spreads so easily, because no one ever got fired for telling you to save more. It sounds responsible, it avoids blame, but safe advice just doesn't build wealth, it avoids risk. So if hoarding cash isn't the right answer, what is? This is the tier safety net that I personally use, and it's how wealthy investors protect themselves without killing momentum. Tier 1, a small emergency fund, and it's just enough for real emergencies like car repairs, medical bills, or a job gap. Not enough to delay your life for years. I typically have about 3 months expenses available just for this, and it'll fluctuate as well as I run across opportunities. Tier 2, high yield savings, money that you might need soon, accessible but not idle and earning a little bit. And I have another 3 months of expenses available for this. Tier 3, access to credit, used responsibly, not lifestyle spending, just flexibility when timing matters. I have open lines of credit up to $100,000 and $120,000 just for this, as you'll never know when opportunities appear and you might be tight on cash. Especially if you're investing heavily, you have cash in, cash out. So the credit being available is great. Tier 4, cash flow and assets, because the best emergency fund is income that doesn't stop when you do. And this is my real estate and dividends from index funds. This isn't a theory, this is exactly how I structure my own money. And to be clear, there are situations where a bigger emergency fund actually makes sense. Let's say if you're single with kids or self-employed with unpredictable income, a larger buffer can absolutely be smart. The mistake isn't having cash, it's blindly following one rule, looking at your situation. And it's different for everybody. This is where big emergency funds quietly become a trap, especially for millennials. We're dealing with higher housing costs, student loans, childcare, uncertainty, so saving more feels responsible. But then it turns into, I'll invest later, I'll buy later, I'll start later. Years go by and nothing changes and nothing's invested. At some point, being responsible turns into being stuck. Here's some real examples. Small fund versus big fund. Person A has $30,000 in a savings account earning almost nothing. They have a stable W-2 job, have been working there for quite some time, and have low living expenses already. They feel safe, but they're still stressed because they're not getting ahead. System-based person B keeps $10,000 liquid, but has income streams and has access to funds and still has the W-2 job, the stable W-2 job that they've been working for quite some time. Similar situations, but this person probably sleep better because they have money that is constantly multiplying and it's not just them working. I've been there. In 2021, I had a lot of money saved, but I was scared to make moves with it, especially on housing where offers were super competitive due to the low rates. And the longer I waited, the more expensive that it actually got, but I was also wasting a lot of time on seeing properties, underwriting deals, but I kept losing out on all these offers, which in return, I was losing money due to the time spent, but not getting anything back. Eventually, my real estate coach actually guided me to purchasing a property where It didn't cash flow year one due to some old leases, but would eventually cash flow the following year over $700 a month. Now, that property cash flows me close to $13,000 a year and has appreciated over $80,000 since purchasing. Once I stopped trying to feel perfectly safe and started building systems, everything changed. Momentum matters more than comfort. And I constantly kept that in mind whenever I ran across a plateau where I wasn't able to capitalize on opportunities as much, but just keeping that momentum going. Here's the real guideline. Stable W-2 job, 3 months of expenses. Variable income, 4 to 6 months. Dual income household, 3 months. Single income with kids, 6 months. Expenses, not income. An emergency fund should protect you, not slow you down. If this video changed your mind on what you think about money and as well emergency funds, hit that like button and please comment down below. I'd be curious on knowing how much money makes you feel safe having in your emergency fund. And as well, please consider subscribing. I put a lot of effort into these videos and it helps a ton with letting YouTube know that I'm doing a good job. So hit that like, comment down below, and subscribe. It'll be greatly appreciated. Have a good one.